Welcome to another episode of Shifting Reality, where I share my thoughts on the world and my advice.
I just take it day by day. Ooh, never hearing what they say. Ooh, I just do it my.
Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're talking about how when it feels scary or uncomfortable, that's actually a sign, can be a sign that you're doing something right. So we're gonna break down that uncomfortable, scary feeling we get and see how we can reframe our perspective on it to help us live from a better perception. As we know, life is a lot about our perspectives on things. So when you get that scary feeling, what do? And we can really break down our belief of these things by seeing how our behaviors are playing out in this reality. So the question is, am I looking at this scary thing as a hindrance, or am I looking at it as a way to excel, as a way to grow? Because even though you get that uncomfortable feeling, it could be a sign that you're exactly where you need to be. You're doing exactly what you need to do, but you look at it as a sign telling you to stop. And that's because we've been built to live in this survival mode, of course. So you're gonna think that feeling uncomfortable or being scary is a sign of you doing something wrong. And if you're comfortable, yes, it feels good. Yes, it feels safe. But you need to learn to feel safe in the unknown, in the uncomfortable, in the scary things, because risks have high rewards. And if you're constantly scared of being in the unknown or being uncomfortable or failing, you're limiting yourself so much. You are an expansive being that has amazing abilities. It's just about finding them and honing in on them and not being scared to feel uncomfortable. So that's really what today's episode is about. Diving deep into this uncomfortable feeling we feel and learning to reframe it to help us move forward and be strong and persevere. You move through the uncomfortability. You don't use uncomfortability as a sign to tell you to stop. So have you ever noticed that the things that scare you most often end up being the things that transform you the most? Yeah, there was definitely times in my life where I've been scared and I worked through the scary feeling, or I just let the scary feeling be there and still did what I have to do, and I was so proud of myself. And then I feel like in those situations where I let the scary, uncomfortable feeling stop me, I always ended up regretting it. So I know that when it comes to being uncomfortable and feeling these feelings that are kind of like, I don't know if I like this. I kind of want to be comfortable again. I kind of want to go back to where I was, where it felt safe and secure. But like, this is like a transition phase, isn't it? Being in an uncomfortable feeling never lasts forever. It's always a temporary feeling that we eventually get over. And when you get out of it, especially after you do the thing that you were scared of, the thing that made you uncomfortable, especially after you do that thing, you realize that like it wasn't even that scary. Like I did that shit on my own. Like I did that even though I was scared of it, and you feel proud of yourself. So remember that feeling anytime that uncomfortable feeling comes up. Be like, okay, I feel uncomfortable, but I know in the end this is going to benefit me. This is going to lead me to something better, because an uncomfortable feeling, being in the unknown, is just a transition phase into something better. If you view it like that, if you truly believe it, you know that that'll manifest in your reality, because what you believe is what becomes true. I went through this in like on 2 episodes ago. Like, what are you believing about this uncomfortable feeling? Are you believing it as a signal to stop? Or are you believing it as a signal to move forward, to keep going, that in the end, it's all going to be worth it? Because I think we all have those instances where we realize it was always worth it to go through the scary feeling. I want you to think about an experience right now where that happened. I want you to reflect. We're adding reflection time into these episodes where you can contemplate on the questions that I ask you. So it's like a shadow work video teaching all in one. Okay, so I want you to think about an experience where you were scared of something, like fearful, nervous, anxious, anxiety, stop, and then you went through that feeling, and then in the end you were like, yes, I did that. I'm that no I'm that man, I'm that woman, I'm that goddess. Like, you know what I'm saying? So think about it, because I'm gonna think about it too. So in all those experiences, we always ended up realizing that we needed to be uncomfortable, we needed to fail, we needed to do whatever we had to do, get rejected. We needed to go through that uncomfortability to get to this point. It says, why does growth so often feel uncomfortable before it feels good? Why does growth feel uncomfortable before it feels good? Oh, that actually reminds me of an episode from Neuro Knowledge that I was watching, where he was talking about how it's like your old frequency tries to hammer you back down when you're moving into a different timeline, because I guess it's not used to it. It's like your old programming trying to sabotage you and put you back down on that old frequency. That's probably why it feels uncomfortable, because you've never lived like this before. You've never done this before. So being in the unknown can definitely be uncomfortable if you view it as such. But you could always view it as a sign that you're doing exactly what you need to do, that you're growing, you're transitioning. Because if you feel comfortable all your life, are you really growing? Are you really doing anything that scares you? Because those things that scare you show you how powerful you are when you actually intend to do them, or do them and carry them out. Honey, that's just life. Life is being comfortable, then being uncomfortable, then being comfortable again, then being uncomfortable, because we're constantly fucking trying to achieve more for ourselves. To some degree, a lot of people are trying to achieve more. So of course, they're going to go through seasons where they're uncomfortable, because that's a part of growth. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to fail. You have to be rejected. You have to go through all these feelings to realize that it's a part of success. So it's never to look at as a bad thing. I don't know why we always look at like uncomfortability, fear. I don't know why we look at it as a bad thing. Like, even when I've learned to sit in like painful emotions, I've learned it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just energy flowing through my body that I need to learn to release. God made this experience exactly as it was supposed to be, so we could learn things. So I think there's always a chance to learn, that you have the choice to choose what you believe and how you're perceiving things to be. And that in turn shapes your reality. So what does fear really mean when it shows up right before you're about to level up? Honestly, when fear comes up, when I feel like I'm about to level up, I just see it as a sign that my old self is dying and they're scared that they're about to die, like I just feel like it's my ego trying to hold on, or my lower self trying to hold on to something that I am not going to be anymore. So when that fear comes up, I always think of it as like a sign that, okay, I'm changing into somebody new. Something new is coming. I'm about to be in the unknown, and my old self is scared of that. But my soul, my inner self, the one who is calm, the one who knows exactly what she's doing, knows that this fear will not last forever. This fear will be shown and proven wrong, that where I'm going is better than where I was. Staying stagnant, staying comfortable isn't the way to go. Resilient, you're persistent through the fear, through the scary things, through the uncomfortable feelings, because that is the greatest source of growth. When you're fearful of something and then you prove your fear wrong by doing it. I think that's a good note to take. So is fear really a sign that you're doing something wrong? No, it's proof that you're doing something fucking right. You just have to reframe how you're viewing this feeling in your life, okay? I want you to think about when you're having those scary feelings or feeling uncomfortable, do you usually lean into it, or do you pull away and like kind of like stop yourself? Think about it. Okay, do you lean into the scary feelings, the fear, or do you pull back, aka self-sabotage? Okay, so you've thought about it, and it's okay if sometimes you pull back. I feel like sometimes we need to go through experiences where we're fearful of something and we don't do it. We learn that the regret we feel after isn't better than leaning into the fear isn't better than pushing through and being persistent through it. Embrace it. Like, okay, this is what I feel right now. It ain't gonna last forever. I'm gonna get through it like I get through everything else, because you're a strong warrior. You got through 100% of the challenges and the problems you endured, so you're gonna get through this one too, even if it feels uncomfortable, because uncomfortability is not a sign that we're doing something wrong. It's not a sign to stop. It's a sign that we're ascending, that we're transitioning into something better, and our old self is hanging on for dear life. We're gonna let that go, let it go, and we're gonna lean into the fear. I was just thinking, so why does personal growth always come with discomfort? And when I really get deep into it, I'm like, well, we live in a 3D kind of matrix world where duality is a thing. So just like you have light and dark, just like you have negative feelings and positive feelings, there's always like that polarity. So uncomfortability is like half of the pie. You have the good feelings, the comfortable feelings, and you have the uncomfortable part of the pie, right? But all of it is part of the whole. So you can't have one without the other. You need both to make up our world. Well, at least in this reality. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like there's a polarity. So you're gonna have to be uncomfortable sometimes. Like, that's life. That's life. But you can make it easier on yourself by reframing your reaction to it, your belief of it, your experience of it, etc. Right? So how do we reframe that fear? Like, honestly, how I changed my reaction to fear and like the uncomfortable feelings, I'm like, oh, this is a sign I'm getting somewhere. I'm doing something right. I'm about to excel. Like, I just tell myself that over and over again. And eventually I started to really believe it, because I have many examples of going through fearful feelings and uncomfortable situations in my life and getting through them, and then realizing, wow, I'm just strong as fuck, and I'm proud of myself for doing that. Honestly, I think that's it for today's episode. I think today's episode is pretty straight and to the point, because I'm just telling you that when you feel that uncomfortable feeling, it's really a sign that you should just keep moving forward and through it and continue expanding into this beautiful soul that you're becoming. So don't let that uncomfortable feeling be a sign that you're doing something wrong. Don't let it be a sign to stop. Let it be a sign that you're on the right track, that God is aligning your future. What I always realize is that I needed those uncomfortable moments to grow. So I'm always grateful for them, because without them, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And with that, that is the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next time.